Hey everybody. Oh my god, this is so weird because I haven't made a video in so long, so I don't even know how to start. But hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. This is like so weird. I haven't made a video in like a long time, so I'm here with like the most exciting news of my life. I was on YouTube at first because I had a channel for my lock journey. My hair was locked. It's obviously not anymore. I like cut it all off and just grew it back out like as a new loose natural. So you see I got a little bit of hang time back, but now I'm back on YouTube because I want to share the most exciting journey of my life right now, which is that I'm pregnant. So I'm actually 18 weeks, like 18 and a half weeks now. And I do plan on documenting like the whole journey on YouTube, but I wanted to wait until I got to at least past my first trimester before like announcing it. I still haven't really announced it to everybody, just my close friends and my family know. But I definitely want to document this because, well, for one, it'll be great to look back on, and for two, a lot of my family lives far away from me, and it'll be nice to be able to share this experience with them, you know, via the internet and via these videos. So, oh, and then also before I even got pregnant, I was already on the search for a whole bunch of different kind of pregnancy videos, like, cause I just wanted to consume as much knowledge as possible. And it was just, I love watching other people's pregnancy journeys and like learning from it essentially, because I knew that this was coming soon. And so I know it'll be helpful for anybody who's literally right now binge watching a bunch of however many week videos. So I'm probably gonna start off, it's just like so much to say. And I've thought about so many different types of videos that I want to do that'll be like helpful tips and tricks that I'm maneuvering through the first trimester, and then also just kind of like the symptoms and everything. Like, it's just so much to put out. So I think I'm gonna start this video off by well, it's already an announcement that I'm pregnant, but then also by talking about how I knew I was pregnant, and the first, I guess you could say week, well, I guess you could say like the first 3 to 4 weeks of being pregnant, which is kind of like when not when most women find out. Most women find out by like week 6. But for women who are like planning to be pregnant and are looking to be pregnant, we usually know between like the 2-week wait symptoms up until the time that your period's supposed to come, which is week 4. So I actually got married back in April of this year. So that was just about 5, so almost like going on 6 months now. Time flies. And I thought that we had got pregnant like literally on our wedding night. Like, I thought we did. And it's possible that we could have conceived, but we didn't get pregnant, which I found out in my research because I had so many symptoms, like the 2-week wait symptoms. I didn't even know that that was a thing or what that was until that happened, because we went on our honeymoon like the day after we got married, and we didn't start like trying to get pregnant until we got married. So it was possible, you know, that we could have gotten pregnant. So while we were on honeymoon, I had like 1,000,001 symptoms of a pregnant person. And this would have obviously been like right after conception or right after ovulating. So 2-week wait symptoms, anything you name, I probably had it. Like, it was crazy. It was like my body was really, really talking to me. And so by the time the day my period was supposed to come, I pretty much thought I was pregnant, and I took a test and it was negative. But since I've been watching so many videos, I knew that it was possible to get a negative test and still be pregnant. So I was thinking like, well, I'll just wait and see if my period comes. So my period did end up coming later on that day. It was a little different than my regular flow. So I was starting to think, well, maybe this is implantation bleeding, because this is like what you go through when you start to get obsessed with this stuff. And that's what happened to me in like a matter of 2 weeks. Like I just became like obsessed with it. Like I knew like that we weren't gonna wait too long to have children together after we got married, but it wasn't necessarily like, we weren't necessarily like trying like on our wedding night, or since then. It was just kind of like, when it happens kind of thing. But once I had the idea in my mind that like maybe we're pregnant, I was like, we better be pregnant basically. And so long story short, it was actually my period. It was a real period that happened. I was so like, I was disappointed because I thought that, I truly genuinely thought that we were pregnant. But I was so confused because I was like, no, like my body was not playing with me. Like it was really stuff going on. So I did some research and I found out that 40% of the time when people conceive, so like the egg and the sperm meet, 40% of the time that egg, or what turns into a zygote or a blastocyst, is really scientific. But I'm gonna tell you, I was like obsessed with this stuff. When it's traveling through the fallopian tube and then trying to implant into your uterus, and then you're officially pregnant, 40% of the time that doesn't happen successfully. And when it doesn't, the egg just ends up pretty much washing away with your uterine lining, which is your period. Your period comes, so you're not pregnant. But I just found that to be just, 40%. Like I was rounding up and I was like, that's basically half the time. And I just felt like we definitely conceived, because I'm not crazy. But then that was back in, we got married in the middle of April. So this was like by beginning of May that, I realized like, okay, we're not pregnant. And then I think another month passed. Yeah, another month passed of me having my period. And then shortly after that, I started experiencing symptoms again. And this time it wasn't even as many symptoms as the first time around, or the time that I thought that I was pregnant. I had so many symptoms then that I just kind of knew. I was like, yeah, I have to be pregnant because I have all the pregnancy symptoms. But then this second time, it was kind of just really one symptom that was like a pressing symptom. And I had, my breasts were like sore, like heavy, like they just felt like they were just filled with sand. And like I didn't want to wear a bra, I didn't want to not wear a bra. Like nothing made them feel better except like wearing a sports bra, and I only have but so many of those. So, but the thing is, that started like in the middle of my cycle. So the way the cycle goes, it's like your period, and then in the middle of your cycle is when most women ovulate. So you would conceive at that time. And then there's that 2-week wait, which we're talking about, until the time that you either conceived or you didn't. And then your period's either going to come, for most women. Some people still do experience a period, but it's either going to come or you're pregnant and you're probably not going to get it. So this happened like literally during the time that I would be ovulating. So I felt that was strange, because usually my PMS symptoms, if I do get sore breasts, it's not to the extent that it was. And it also wouldn't have been that early in my cycle. It would be like a week before my period comes on. So it was definitely different than regular PMS symptoms. And again, I knew what was going on in my body. But of course, after the last possibility, like my husband and some of my close friends are like, you can be a bit of a hypochondriac, which I'm like, I know what's going on, but like they don't know what's going on. So I was just like, whatever. So I was chilling. I was like, you know what? Okay. Cause I kept saying little things to my husband, like, but we're pregnant. And he was just like you always think you know things, like just wait till blah, blah, blah. So I was just like, I can't wait to take this test just so I told you. So what ended up happening was, I had an extra pregnancy test left over because I bought a 2-pack that last month and a half before that. So then I ended up taking that pregnancy test on the morning that my period was supposed to come. Like, I wasn't even, originally I told myself, like, wait a couple of days, see if your period's late, and then take the test, because I didn't want to be disappointed again, especially if I took it too early. But I knew. I woke up that morning, that was the first thing on my mind, because I went to sleep thinking, like, I'm taking that test in the morning and it's going to be positive because I know that I'm pregnant. So what I did was I woke up in the morning and I was nervous. Even though I knew it, I was nervous because I didn't want to be disappointed. So I was laying in the bed and I was just like giving myself a real pep talk to go take that test, because I knew I was pregnant, but I just, like I said, didn't want to be disappointed. So it was nerve-wracking. It was very nerve-wracking. And then I just went to the bathroom, you know, just like I peed on the stick, and then I like sat it down to, you know, do the thing. And I saw it was one of the tests that, not that say pregnant or not pregnant, but the ones that have the 2 lines or 1 line. And I started to see the, like the urine go through, you know, if you know what I'm talking about, through the stick. And as soon as I started to see it go through, I just like looked away. I picked up my phone and I was like, okay, 3 minutes. I'm gonna give it 3 minutes. And those were like the longest 3 minutes of my life. But I didn't even really have to, because as soon as I started to see the urine go through, I saw the lines popping up as well. But I just wanted to be sure. And then I looked at it and it was like pregnant as hell, basically, because like I said, I saw the lines popping up immediately when I put it down, but I just wanted to be sure, and I gave it 3 minutes, and it was definitely pregnant. And truly, I thought that, I imagined that when I saw that I'm pretty emotional, so I thought I was going to be crying and like, you know, just having this big old emotional breakdown. Not breakdown, but like break up. Well, I don't whatever. Thought it was gonna be like a great, like happy filled moment, in which, not that it wasn't a happy filled moment, but the only thing I kept thinking the whole time was, I knew it. Like, I told them I was pregnant. They thought I was crazy. I'm not crazy. Like, and then I was just having like a crazy moment to myself. And then I just kind of sunk in and I was like, yeah, like this is what I wanted. So but it still didn't feel real to me. To this day, at 18 weeks, it still like only feels real to me when I hear the heartbeat at the doctor's, or like just yesterday we went for our anatomy scan and I could see, I don't know if it's 2 or 3D or something, but I could see the baby on the monitor, like the skeletal system and everything, and I was in the heart beating. That feels real to me, but in general, it takes me a long time to process things. Oh my God, this video is getting so long. Okay, I'm gonna try to wrap this up because I hate super long videos and it also takes forever to edit. But, so what was I saying? Oh, and then, so my husband was still asleep and I didn't want to wake him up because he barely sleeps. So I was like, yeah, I'll just, you know, find something to do until he wakes up. So I just left it in the bathroom, like on the sink for him so he could be surprised and see it. And he got up like 10 or 15 minutes later. So I found myself in the living room trying to straighten up. Just like, I was just looking for something to do. I didn't know what to do with myself because I was like so anxious for him to wake up, but I didn't want to wake him up. So I was just like, maybe I'll straighten up, like whatever. So then he ended up getting up, he saw it, and first he tried to act like he didn't see it, but I was being a creep anyways. Like, I wanted him to see it naturally and be surprised, but like as soon as I heard him like going to the bathroom, I came around the corner like, hey, just being like awkward. And he was like, he already seen it at that point, but he was like, what? And I was like, huh? Just acting awkward. And then he was like, what? But he'd already seen it, but I was just being so like, I was just like, oh my God, can you just look at it? And so he was like, first he said he didn't know what it meant, but obviously, like, I wouldn't have left it there for him to be all excited for. Like, I probably would have been crying if it was a negative test. That's what I told him. And then we had our little joyous moment together, and from that point on, I didn't really share the news with anybody besides my parents, and then his mother as well, his mother and his sister. and then like my best friends. Like I only told them in the beginning because well, I didn't want to share the news until like we got past the first trimester, for the most part, and so it was a lot of anxiety within that time. But where am I going with this? Basically, that's how I found out that I was pregnant, or that I knew I was pregnant, and when I found out I was pregnant. And here we are in the second trimester, which is so much better than the first trimester in my experience. And in most women say the same thing. I feel so much better, but I am gonna make more videos, obviously, and kind of detail the different weeks in the first trimester, and just as I progress in this journey, and talk about it. Because like I said, I was looking at all of these videos before I was pregnant, while I was like feeling like we're ready to get pregnant, you know, after we had got married, and just even to this day, because I just can't stop watching them, because it's just so much insight that you can get from watching people's journeys this way. And so I know that it'll be helpful for someone or a lot of people out there, and also, like I said, for my family to see this. So this was my first video, and I'm gonna try to cut this down as much as I can because it's lengthy and I can talk. So thank you for watching. Welcome back to my channel. If you're loyal and you've been here for like all my journeys, and if not, you can subscribe to my channel, because there will be plenty more videos in regards to my pregnancy journey, and then after that, motherhood. So thanks for watching. I love you guys.